Okay, so we're going to talk about in this module everything that needs to happen before you actually write a blog post that's eventually going to rank in Google. So I want to quickly reiterate why this matters. First of all, you're just going to have to trust me when I say that research is incredibly important for SEO. And I mean research in two different ways. One, researching what people are searching for, that we call keyword research or competitor research. That would be looking at other sites in your niche that cover the same topics and seeing what keywords they rank for. What do I need to be targeting? When I produce a blog post, just what keywords do I need to be targeting in Google? What are people actually searching for that my site might show up in the results for? I hope that makes sense. That would be one type of research. Another type of research would be, okay, I have these keywords that people are searching for in Google. It gets lots of searches a month. That is what I want to try and rank for because that'll be, relevant to my blog and I can produce that content. I'm knowledgeable or whatever. Okay, what actually needs to be written? Like on the page in order to satisfy the user intent, right? That we'll talk about. What actually needs to be on the page? What should I write about? What should my headlines be? Do I need to make sure I cover all my bases? The answer is yes. Okay, what are my bases? What do I need to talk about in the post? What does a post actually need to contain? We call that SEO content research. Keyword research, content research. It's incredibly important. The more you do of that, the easier it is to actually write the content that will perform well in Google. I'm gonna say that one more time. The more and better, not just more, but the more and better research you do on choosing which keywords to target, as well as how to shape your content, the blog posts, the easier and quicker probably it will be to actually have that content rank in Google. You got it? Good. Outside of research, however, there's one more thing that we're going to talk about specifically in like the next 2 videos, and that is just getting your site ready. Other than the words on the page, the content, Google cares about their user experience. Again, we're going to talk about this in a couple of videos from now. But in general, your website has to be fast. It has to be mobile first. Those are the 2 big things. And you have to tell Google what your site is about. Again, we're going to go through this step by step in the next couple of videos here, but I just wanted to give you like a reason, like why does this matter? Why does my site need to be mobile friendly, mobile first? Because if it's not, Google's not going to rank it. Why does my site need to be fast? Because if it's not, people are just going to leave and they'll be frustrated because they clicked on this Google result and the page took way too long to load and they're just going to go back to Google and look all over again. Google don't like that. They want to make their users happy. So your page needs to load quickly. It has to be fast. It has to be mobile friendly / mobile optimized / mobile first. We'll talk about that in the next couple of videos, but that's extremely important. And then we're going to move on to talking about research, which is absolutely huge for SEO. Let's go. Okay, so we've learned that our website needs to be mobile friendly and it needs to be super speedy. It needs to load quickly in people's browsers on the computer, because Google cares about that. This is mandatory stuff. This is nice have stuff. This is must have stuff. Luckily, you can do it today and you can do it for free. And I'm going to walk you through it right now. Let's start with being mobile friendly and then we'll get to the speed stuff. I have here PeteMcPherson.com. I only have like 1 or 2 plugins. There's not really a whole lot of content on this site, but I'm just going to use it as an example. What you can do right now is go to search.google.com. I will also provide this in this course as a link. You can just click on, and you just enter in your URL here. Is the page mobile friendly? You could do your homepage or you could do a blog post. I actually recommend doing both just to make sure. Let's go ahead and do my homepage. Let's just enter it in here. I'm going to copy, paste, and just hit run test, and we're going to see what it pops up. Is my site mobile friendly? Now, if it is, great. You don't really have to worry about anything. If it's not, here's what you do. You're not going to like this. Are you ready? You probably need to get a new WordPress theme. 99.9% of all themes developed now, these days, 2019 at the time of this recording, or 2020 if you're watching later, 9 out of 10 WordPress themes are default very mobile friendly and responsive, whatever you want to call it, right? 9 out of 10. My page is mobile friendly. The theme I am using is the default WordPress theme. It's literally called 2019. And most of the themes you can find in your dashboard, if you go to Appearance, Themes, and you just click Add New, right? You're browsing for new WordPress themes. Most of these are going to be mobile friendly. They just will, right out of the box. Most of them are now. If you're using an old theme, it may not be like that. If you're using a custom theme that somebody else built, it may not be like that. If you've done a lot of custom CSS and HTML changes to your own theme, it may not be like that. I don't know, but it needs to be. This should be a green dot. If it's not, well, you need to change it. You need to change themes. You just do. I recommend any of the Genesis themes. You can go to studiopress.com. studiopress.com. These are paid. If you don't want to do paid, I'd recommend using either the default WordPress themes, 2019, 2020, later on if they release that one. They're fantastic themes. I really do think that. Or just come and use this browser. Most of these, in fact, you can even do feature and kind of choose some theme options that you want. I'm not going to do that right now. But in general, most of these are going to be mobile responsive. And in fact, when you click on these details and stuff, Matrix is a responsive, and the first 3 words, it says it's responsive. It should be responsive. Always test it. You come over here to the mobile friendly thing and test it. But in general, that's what you need to do. If you have a green light, you should be just probably fine, good to go. Maybe I'll actually open up a blog post URL to test. Let's grab this one right here. This is a example blog post. Let's try it again. I'm going to paste that in there, hit enter. We're going to see what pops up on this one. But if it's not, you probably just need to change themes. I'm really sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Okay, let's move on while this is loading to talk about website speed. There are 3 things you can do to easily enhance website speed. That sounds like a good blog post title, doesn't it? 3 simple steps to making your website lightning fast. And it really is like that. Okay, and these are going to be free, totally free. One, we're going to talk about images. This is mobile friendly, by the way. It might be ugly because it's just an example, but page is mobile friendly. Looks like there's some page loading issues, which we could talk about later on. But in general, page is mobile friendly. Cool, right? So step number 1 is going to be just to test your speed. All right, we're just going to plug it in. Let's go to my home page right here. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to throw it in. GT Metrics is my favorite analyzer. It's completely free. There are a few other ones. Pingdom is one. I'm just going to put this in here, click Analyze. Google also has another site speed testing tool, but I like GT Metrics just because, I don't know, really. It's great. It works great. So the step number 1 is just a test. We're going to see what happens here. It's going to give us a letter grade. Don't fret if it's like an F or an E or a D, A being the fastest, right? Don't fret. We're going to fix all this stuff in 3 steps. So, well, while this loads, let's go over the 3 steps. Number 1, we are going to install Short Pixel or another image compressor. Images slow down websites. They just do. And a compressor, you can see this is the original image. This is the compressed image. You can't really tell the difference. It just makes the file size that much smaller. And later on in the tools, I can give you more examples. In this video, I'm just going to use Short Pixel because you can start for free. You get a certain number of free image credits every single month, and it's really easy to install and use. It's incredibly easy. You don't have to do anything. Once you set it up, you just upload pictures to your blog, and it automatically compresses it. That's pretty awesome. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be installing a cache. C-A-C-H-E. I'll show you what that means in just a minute. A caching plugin. I don't know what it does. You don't know what it does. Doesn't matter. It speeds up your website by compressing a lot of the website files on the backend stuff. Some crazy technical stuff. It will help you. And we're going to use W3 Total Cache because it's free. We're going to do that in just a second. And the third thing I'm going to point people to is using a CDN, specifically Cloudflare. It's absolutely free for one website. And you can set it up relatively easily. What this does, actually, I'm not even going to tell you what it does. Let's just say that it takes all of your website files and it distributes it all across the globe, like in this picture here, so that wherever people are, when they load your website in their browser, it pulls from a server that's close to them rather than your server with all your website files. If somebody in Singapore is loading your website in Austin, Texas, it's going to take a while. This distributes all of your website files, not all of them, but a lot of your website files, like images and stuff, so that that person in Singapore will pull your images from a Singaporean server, and it'll be lightning fast. That's the 3 steps. 1, images. 2, cache plugin. 3, CDN. Let's do it right now. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to install ShortPixel. They do have a paid plan, by the way. I highly recommend them. I will put my affiliate link below in case you want to do it. In case you upload a lot of images or you need more or whatnot, you're welcome to do that. But you can actually install it for free right here in plugins. Add new. I am going to search for ShortPixel. ShortPixel. It's going to pop right up. I'm going to click install and then activate once that's done. And there will be just a few settings that we'll need to take care of. If you do buy some bulk image credits or a monthly plan or whatever, you will need to put in your API. In fact, you might even need to put in your API even for the free version. You just go to sign up right here on shortpixel.com and you can take care of that. But it'll be down here in settings, ShortPixel. Here's what you want to do. Leave most of this alone, okay? You can see I already have my API key up there. If you want, if you upload images you take from your phone with like huge, wide resolutions, like 4,000 pixels, 3,000 pixels wide or tall or whatever, you can automatically set ShortPixel to resize them. You can choose like, oh, you could leave this blank if you wanted to. Original aspect ratio is preserved and image is not cropped in any way. You just put in like 1,200 or 1,500 or something like that, or maybe even 2,000. That will help significantly reduce the file size and therefore the loading speed of your website. So I would highly recommend resizing images right here. I'm gonna leave it blank for now. And then next, you're gonna go to advanced. You're gonna leave all this the same except for here. If you want to exclude thumbnail sizes, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you upload an image into WordPress, WordPress automatically duplicates that image for a few different thumbnail sizes. Medium, large, you might even see more options here depending on your theme. Seriously. Every single image that you upload will be multiple image credits for ShortPixel. So if you have 100 credits a month, which I think is what ShortPixel's free plan is, and every image you upload takes up 5 credits, well, then you can only upload 20 images a month on the free plan. At least you'll have to pay for more. So you can click in here, check these to exclude those thumbnail sizes. So right now, every image I put in is doing like 4. 1, 2, 3 thumbnails, and then the original image. That's not bad. So you can update that right there. After this is installed, you can go back to your media and compress old images if you want to. You'll have to do it in this list view, not the grid view right here. And you can see these are already reduced because I've already, look at that. This one was literally reduced by 86%, the file size. That's crazy, right? I uploaded this big image right here. It reduced the image size by 70%, and it still looks exactly the same. That's pretty incredible. So you can compress old images in this view right here. And when you add new images, it's going to automatically compress it. That's step number 1. Compress all the images on your blog. Every time you upload a new image now, it's going to automatically compress with ShortPixel. Again, I'll make a separate tools video later and give you a little bit more options, but ShortPixel is by far my favorite, the best. You can start for free today. That's awesome. Moving on. Step number 2 to getting your website nice and speedy would be to add a caching plugin. I use WP Rocket, but it costs $50. There is no free version of WP Rocket. It is by far the best, by the way. But another good one is, let's just search cache. I don't really know. I think it's produced cache, but in general. So these are the big ones right here. Actually, this one's another big one right there. W3 Total Cache and WP Super Cache. These all function pretty much the exact same way, but again, I use WP Rocket, but that's paid. That's like $50. I use this whenever I want a free one. I just use W3. You can experiment with some of these other ones. I've never used them. I'm sure they're fantastic. This one's actually made by Automatic, the company that makes WordPress. So there you go. You can use that. I'm going to click Install Now on W3 and then Activate once that's done. Now, one thing I don't like about W3 specifically is that it has a ton of settings. It's super overwhelming, quite frankly. So I tend to leave it like this right out of the box. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't do a whole lot. You can go through and edit. Where is it? Oh, it's under Performance right here. You click this. I don't know why it's called Performance instead of W3. It's kind of annoying. You got to accept some things here. You can upgrade to the pro version if you really want to. You can just click empty all caches. Have you ever changed anything on your CSS using Elementor or any other page builder that you use, Divi or Beaver Builder or something like that? Oftentimes it can mess up if you don't clear the cache. But in order to do that, after you change some custom CSS or you use page builders to build a new page, if it ever doesn't load correctly, come to your cache plugin and empty your cache and see if that helps. Oftentimes that can help a lot. So like I said before, there are a ton of settings right here. A ton of settings. One thing I would do is just enable the page cache. This is like this by default. And then I would, why don't they do this on purpose? I would probably minify you can read all this if you want to, minify CSS and JavaScript files. You don't really need to know what this does for now. I understand the risk. I would just do that. It decreases file size, makes the page load faster. It looks like a bunch of these these are all like enabled or whatnot. You can actually hook this up to your CDN. We'll do that in a second. This is too much. This is way too much in my opinion. This is why I use WP Rocket. It's a lot simpler. But in general, right out of the box, just installing this plugin is going to do great things for your site speed. It'll help. It might cause some other issues, like I said, with some page builders, but hopefully you should be able to just come back to your dashboard and empty the cache. No matter what cache plugin you use, they will all have a button that says empty cache. Empty all caches. Try that out. That's number 2. We already got our images compressed, and we'll compress future images upon upload. We have a caching plugin installed that'll help us out there. And the last thing would be to sign up for a free Cloudflare account. I'm not going to go through it in this video. Please come to the Blogger U Slack channel if you encounter any issues. They should walk you through this entire process step by step. It's pretty easy, except for the fact that you have to modify one file in your backend settings, wherever you host, whether it's Bluehost or SiteGround or Namecheap or GoDaddy or something else. You'll have to log in to your cPanel account and update one little thing, just one little thing. They should walk you through this entire process in the free version too. You just get started today, enter in your email, choose a password, click sign up. It'll walk you through step by step how to set up the CDN. Again, like I said, you'll just have to choose, change like one little thing. Cloudflare might even do it automatically for you now. I don't know. It's been a year or two since I've gone through the process. No, it hasn't. It's been 6 months. I did it relatively recently. It's pretty easy. If you have any questions, please email Pete@DoYouEvenBlog, or better yet, come to the Slack channel and get some help. But it's fairly easy. They'll walk you through step by step. Once those things are done, you are 95% of the way to having a mobile-friendly and speedy site. Get a good theme, run it through the mobile-friendly test, grab a compression plugin, or otherwise compress your images upon upload using something like compressor.io. We'll talk about that in a later video. I use ShortPixel. I recommend it. I use WP Rocket for my cache plugins. WP Rocket. You can use W3 Total Cache like we did here, or if you want to splurge a little bit, this one's a lot better and a lot easier to use, WP Rocket. And then set up a free Cloudflare CDN account. They'll walk you through it step by step, and you're done. That's it. You have to have this stuff for Google. Google needs your website to be super speedy and mobile friendly. So do those 3 things. That's 95%. Yes, you can do a whole lot of other things. You can limit the number of plugins that you have activated, by the way. If you have some that, I don't really use this all that much anymore, delete it or deactivate it at the very least. Like, the fewer plugins you have, the speedier your website is. Now, everybody uses some plugins. You don't have to have like 5. You could have like 10 or 15 or whatnot. But in general, the more plugins you have, the more likely it is to take up space on your website. So let's leave it at that for now. Again, this is like a 80-20 sort of analysis on site speed. There are many more details. If you know anything about site optimization, you probably realize that already. But for now, for most beginners, you can do this in just an hour or 2, like installing those 3 things: image compression, caching plugin, a CDN, and you'll be 95% of the way there. You can move on to other things. Sweet, let's go. After you have a website that is mobile friendly and nice and speedy, one more thing you need to do before you start producing content, or as you produce content, is make sure that Google knows what your site is about. Let me give you an example. First of all, I pulled up this awesome picture I just Googled Google Spider because I thought it was funny. They call it a spider, but it's really just some crazy technology that comes into your website and looks around. That's how you get pages indexed in Google, meaning they show up. Google knows they exist to begin with, is by allowing this Google Spider bot to crawl your site, quote unquote. It really just means Google looks at all the website files, all the blog posts, all the pages on your site, all the images, everything, the URLs, and they're like, what is this site about? And you tell Google this stuff without even knowing it. When you produce a blog post in WordPress, the title of the blog post is an H1 tag. What does that mean? It means header 1 that helps tell Google what the site is about. You can actually use Yoast SEO, a free WordPress plugin, to specifically change your meta title and your meta description for each blog post, right? Maybe we'll go through the Yoast a little bit to tell Google what your site is about. But even more broadly, you need to tell Google what your entire site is about, not just each individual blog post. This is actually a great image right here. I didn't do this. Somebody else did. Apologies. Anonymous marketing. Homepage, categories, subcategories. You can see this like little hierarchical structure here. I have created another little template that you are welcome to steal and use to basically do the same thing. So here's what we're going to go through. Right now, I'm going to show you a few ways you can tell Google what your site is about. Okay? Oh, by the way, a quick example. Why does this matter? Let's say I wanted to rank for student loan refinancing keywords in Google. Those are highly lucrative. Student loan refinancing companies are highly lucrative, right? But I have a travel blog. In fact, I have over 100 posts on my travel blog, all about travel hacking and traveling in Europe and South America and, et cetera, right? 100 blog posts on travel, 0 on student loans, debt, personal finance, right? All that great stuff. How likely do you think Google is to see that one blog post? I'm trying to rank for student loan keywords on my travel site. Oh, which by the way is called like travelhackingforbeginners.com. That's the name of the site. How likely are they to look at that one post out of my 101 blog posts now, 100 of which are travel, and rank me for student loan keywords? Very low. It doesn't matter if it's the best post on student loan refi on the entire internet. It doesn't matter. Google's looking at my site like, this is a travel blog, bro. Like, why would I rank you for this other topic, this other niche, right? Now, if I had 2 or 3 more posts on student loan stuff that I produced over the next month, and then another 20 over the next year, Google would start to see that as like, oh, wow. And this would be really confusing, by the way, travel and student loan debt. But in general, they would see like, oh, this person, this blog is talking way more about student loan debt. They have 25 student loan debt posts now. Maybe that's what their site is about. I will try and rank them higher in Google search results. So how do you do this? For beginners, there's, just really one big thing, and that would be your categories. If you actually go to Google and typed in SEO category pages, who ranks number 1? That would be me. I have written an entire post about this. You're welcome to go read it, but I'm going to sum it up for you right now as well. You can actually just follow this. So in 3 words or less, what is your site about? What's your niche? Travel, personal finance, parenting, food, recipes, keto diet, blogging, digital marketing, Facebook ads. What is your website about? In 3 words or less. As an example, I'm just going to do personal finance. Again, you can steal this. I'll provide you a link to it below. Okay, I have a personal finance blog. What are my subtopics? What are my categories? My big, broad categories that every single post on my entire site are going to fall into. Okay, they need to be named. This is lesson number 1. They need to be named such that Google knows what they are. Let's say you have a category name on your website, and I literally mean categories. Like if you go to your dashboard, you can see these. I'm actually going to close that right here. Go to my dashboard right here. You hover over posts, and you can change your categories. You can add new ones right here. You can edit the description and the name, both of which Google see. By the way, you see I've already created some test categories just in a previous video. You can name them right here. Now, what if I had one called featured? What does that tell Google exactly? Featured. What does that mean? Featured what? I don't know. What if you have a category named best of? What does that mean? Best of. What about roundup? Lots of people do roundup blog posts, and you have a category named roundup. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't tell Google at all what your site is about. I suggest, and lots of other SEOs suggest, by the way, not just me, that you name your categories on your blog that cover seriously like all blog posts you're ever going to write. Like they should all fall into some of these categories, these big broad categories. Name them specifically so that Google recognizes what your site is about. Again, I shall give you one more example from my own before we go through this. If you go to my website, doevenblog.com, you hover over the word blog, look what happens. Look at that. There are my categories. SEO, blog traffic, blogging tools, blog monetization, email list building, blogging for beginners, technical blog tutorials, and monthly blog income report. Those are pretty descriptive, not just for Google, but also for my users, right? Roundup, I don't know what that means. No one knows what that means. Featured, no one really knows what that means either. Maybe it means the most popular. Maybe it means the most widely read. I don't know. Name your categories such that they'll help Google and help your users find more content that they're interested in. Name your categories. So let's go through it right now as an example. In these yellow slots right here, I'm going to name my categories. You should always have roughly less than 10. You just should. You should not have any more than 10, maybe 12 or 15 broad categories. That's too much. That's too broad, right? Even lifestyle bloggers. Like if you go to the Savvy Couple, Kellen's lifestyle blog, a friend of mine, look right here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he has a shop over here and like a search thing, but like 5 big broad categories. And you'll notice, we're about to cover this too, he has subcategories as well. Cool. But he only has like 5 roughly big: save money, make money, manage money, lifestyle. Again, I don't really know if I agree with this one, Kellen. This one's a little rough, but I think he has to do that because he talks about blogging and money and some other stuff in here. This one's a little tough because he is a lifestyle blogger, but in general, 5 big broad categories. I love that. So I talk about personal finance. I'm going to talk about budgeting. I'm going to talk about student loans or even student loan debt. I'm going to talk about what? Investing. I'm going to talk about mortgages. I'm going to talk about, I don't know. Let's create one more. Frugality, right? I'm just going to leave it at that for now. That's what I got. Those are my big 5 categories. I'm going to go into my website. Literally, this is like, you should do this, and add these. I'm going to add budgeting. And then I am going to put description. This category talks about all things budgeting, which will help you save money and have more money at the end of every single month. Includes budgeting spreadsheets to help track where your money, I misspelled your money is going, and blah, 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 right? I'm going to include some keywords. You notice I got budgeting spreadsheets. I might do budgeting templates, budgeting ideas, zero-based budgeting. I might talk about a few more budgeting things in this description, and I'm going to click Add New Category. Boom. Now I have a category. It's like literally petemcpherson.com/budgeting is where you can find that, I believe. Yeah, the slug budgeting. You can add that if you want. Then a description. Now I'm telling Google I talk about budgeting on this website. That's one of my big categories. I would do the same here for student loans, investing, mortgages, frugality. Cool. All right. What if I have more, Pete? What if I want to do more? Go for it. Add them in here. What if I have subcategories? Good. You should. Remember the Google spider picture? This, right? You can have some subcategories too. Kellen had some of these over here. Yeah, pretty much those, right? Household, recipes, health and wellness, relationships, travel. He's a lifestyle blogger, so he covers a lot on this blog. But in general, what I might do is budgeting. Okay, now I could have budgeting spreadsheets, budgeting strategy. I don't know what else I would have here. Budgeting apps. That's a great one. Budgeting apps. Student loans. I might have debts pay down strategies. I might have student loan refinance reviews. I might have, gosh, what else is there? I don't know. Forgiveness examples, or it might have a few more. You can do more than 3. Again, if you use this template, you can insert some rows as needed. You can totally do more than 3. Student debt success stories, maybe. Okay. Now go to investing. How to use index funds. A beginner, investing for beginners. You see what I'm doing? I'm just coming up with my big broad topic, less than 10 big broad categories, of which I'm literally going to create here in my WordPress dashboard, and then a few subcategories. This is creating a structure that these Google spider bots will come along and see and realize what your site is about. Why is this important? Because if you want to rank in Google for anything that you talk about, any of this stuff, it helps. It's not going to be a make or break sort of thing, but it helps tell Google what your site is about. You got it? I will provide the link to this below. You can come in and do this stuff. By the way, you can add these as subcategories as well. In this, I can add budgeting apps. Let's do that. Budgeting apps. Slug will be budgeting apps. Parent category. I'll choose budgeting. So it'll be a subcategory, right? A review and testing of different budgeting apps. Okay. Add new category. It's going to show up in here, budgeting apps. This little line means it's a parent category of budgeting. And now I'm good to go, right? Right. So one last thing. How do I actually tell Google these things? They will pick up on it eventually, even if you did nothing. One way, well, actually, it's pretty mandatory, actually, now that I think about it. You need to connect it to Google Search Console. Google Search Console is completely free. It's really easy to use. You'll go to this website right here, Google Search Console. You'll click Start or Start Now or whatever. When I log in, you're going to see stuff because I already have a Search Console account. If you don't have any of this yet, you'll have to answer some questions. You'll have to put in your Google email. You'll have to connect it. You'll put in your URL of your property, quote unquote, right? That's what these are called. You'll add a new property. You'll put in your URL. It'll ask you some questions, and then basically you'll hit go. Now, there are a few different ways to actually connect your blog, your WordPress blog, to Google Search Console. You can do it manually, or you can just use the Yoast SEO plugin, which most people use in general. Like a lot of people use this plugin. You can actually go to SEO. You can go to Search Console right here. I already have mine hooked up probably. Actually, I don't even know if I do. You can allow Yoast SEO to fetch your Google Search Console information and hook it up. That's awesome, right? You just literally go through this. Get Google authorization code. It'll bring up this thing. You'll log into your account. It'll give you a code to copy and paste. You come back here, you copy, you paste it in here, you hit authenticate, you're pretty much done. This little article right here will provide you way more information if you need it, how to add your website to Google Search Console. Why should I even tell you in this video? It's step-by-step right here. Again, it's really easy though. You click this button once you create a Search Console account. In general, you hit authenticate, you're done. Okay? It's going to connect. It's going to allow Google to crawl your website much better. And it's going to start looking at this stuff, and it's going to know what your website is about. That's it. I actually had to come back and shoot this video because I thought it might need its own explanation. So there are, very broadly speaking, 2 different types of content you can produce for SEO. One type would be just like kind of normal blog SEO keywords based on keyword research and competitor research, which we're talking about in the next video. But it's just kind of like normal everyday blogging. Maybe the keywords you target are anywhere from like maybe 2 words, but more likely like 3 to 6. It's like not super long tail because that's pretty much dead, but just like kind of in the middle, and they're just like the blog posts that you would normally create. I don't know what else to say. That's what I mean. The other type of post, remember there are 2. The other one is called pillar post or Cornerstone content. Both of these things. These are, generally speaking, supposed to be your bigger post, your better post, the post you want your blog to be known for. And you can actually specify, I'll show you in just a second, in Yoast, which. So if you go to Google and you just type in Cornerstone content, you'll see this, essentially, right? One big post and then all these other ones are on the side here. This is your pillar post, your cornerstone content right there. Basically, this is targeting the bigger. That's all I can really say. If you copy your competitors' categories, it's a tactic I teach just to kind of get a general feel of what other people are blogging about in your niche. So you're in finance and you came up with like budgeting, investing, earning more, loan repayment. I don't know. You came up with like 5 to 10 categories. Those could be some of your big pillar posts, targeting those big keywords, right? They're going to be difficult to rank for, but you spend a lot of time and energy creating amazing content, post, trying to promote it as much as humanly possible, trying to get backlinks, etc. You can only do like a few of these a year, maybe like between 3 and 10 a year. Like these are not like you produce these every single week, right? These other ones, however, are much smaller, not as good, but they're just like focusing on the little bullet points that would be in this big article. So if this big article is 10,000 words and it covers like 20 bullet points on your topic, like the A to Z guide to investing, like it covers all sorts of dividend stocks, it covers real estate investing, it covers like early stage startups, it covers everything in investing. These posts would be like the bullet points to that post. So you might have a post on early stage investing. You might have a post on, you might have a post on retirement accounts. You might have a post on blah, blah, blah. All of that falls under the category of investing, which is your big pillar post. And these lines right here on this page I drew are actually links. Like you are linking to this Cornerstone that helps tell Google, this is Cornerstone content. In fact, let me switch right now. So you can see right here in Yoast, again, this is Yoast Premium. If you don't have Yoast Premium, you might not see this, but the point is the same. It's actually not telling you. You can actually identify, hey, this is a Cornerstone post. For me, blogging tools. I want to rank in Google for blogging tools, although it's not that big of a keyword, but I just do. I marked it as Cornerstone content, and now when I edit other pieces, it'll actually show up as linking suggestions. You need to link to this one, and you can see right here, my how to start a blog post is another piece of Cornerstone content I have, and it said consider linking to this, and it said first, and then on these other suggestions down here, but it recommends the Cornerstone pieces first. And again, you don't even have to have Yoast to really use this, but just going back to this idea that there's two types of posts. One would be the big, monstrous, I put a lot of time and energy into these posts. They target bigger keywords. It's just, it needs to be like the best thing I produce, period. A month working on this one blog post, that sort of thing, versus all the other everyday blog posts that will fall up underneath that. Like they're related, but they're like a little bit longer tail keywords you're targeting, not quite as few monthly searches. It might be just like one bullet point post. You could make a whole separate post, that sort of thing. So I just want you to understand that concept as we go forward and start talking about keyword research and all that great stuff. I just wanted you to understand what Cornerstone content is. Hello, everybody. Before you watch the next video on keyword research, I have to give you 1 or 2 quick updates. Number one is that this tool, which I'll show you in the next video, is no longer free. It's paid. Oh no, they had a free tool and they took it away for paid. Don't worry. They made it paid for a very specific reason, by the way, and that is they were getting spammed with bots, and the only other option would have been to shut it down. So they're charging you for credits now. 1 keyword equals 1 credit. We're going to use this tool to see a bunch of keywords and a search volume and stuff like that. And for each keyword, it uses up 1 credit. They are extremely affordable. $10, I just paid for it, by the way. I got 100,000 credits for $10. And they even say down here, there's no monthly plans, but if it was, it would roughly equate to less than $2 a month. That is very affordable for a tool like this. And if you only use it like sparingly, like in bulk, like trying to generate a bunch of keywords, it's going to last you even longer. So don't freak out that it is now a paid plan. I would suggest forking over $10. That'll last you probably years, I would imagine. Unless you're seriously using this like all the time, which I don't think you probably will be, it's going to last you a really long time. And $10, that's super cheap. I just want to share it. Let me do one example search here. Again, I just paid $10 for keywords everywhere. I have 100,000 credits right here. I'm going to go to Google, Solve, and then YouTube and see how many credits are used up. So first of all, I'm going to put in personal finance. Okay, You see how this keyword information like populated here, bunch of stuff in there, bunch of stuff in here. I can add all these keywords. We'll go over a little bit of this in the next lesson, but I just wanted to show you, okay, that used up 50 something credits right there. That's a pretty good bit, but that's a lot of stuff I'm getting right here. Google also going to be the same thing. It's going to use up a fair amount of credits. I'm going to type in personal finance. It's going to use 1 credit for this, and then this widget over here that Keywords Everywhere populates is also going to use up the credits for these. And it'll actually prompt you. This is so helpful. This is, by the way, you want to make sure to turn this off when you're not using it so you don't accidentally use up credits if you're Googling something. But luckily, they thought about this, and this automatically uses up just 1 keyword, just 1. When I search for something right here, you see it only used up 1 keyword, and it prompts me, load metrics, uses 36 credits. Load metrics, uses 8 credits. I'm gonna just go ahead and use those. Boom, I used up 8 credits, not a big deal. You can see how these might actually last a pretty good while. It'll last a long while. And I love, love, love that they were honestly kind enough to not do it on autopilot and just ask you if you want to load metrics. Thank you. Thank you, Keywords Everywhere. I love you guys. So one more thing I'll say is that when you go to like YouTube and search in something here, it only uses up 1 as well. Personal finance, I'm gonna hit search right here. It just used up that 1. And that is it. I just want to let you know it's paid, not free, but it's so cheap and affordable. This is one of those tools. It's not the be all end all. This search volume is not super accurate. This isn't precisely the amount of people that are searching for these keywords, but it's just a handy tool for estimating and trying to build out a topic strategy, which we'll talk about in the next video. I would recommend splurging the $10. There you go. After this next lesson, a couple lessons from now, I'm also going to throw in a little bitty short video on how you could best use a $7 trial to Ahrefs. You get 7 days for $7, and that could actually be enough to last you in a year or 6 months or 3 months. $7. I'm going to show you how I would best utilize that in a few videos after the next video, which is on keyword research. Enjoy. Okay, everybody, it's time to go through keyword research, finding keywords that then you can turn into blog posts and target different search phrases, search queries in Google. We call those keywords, right? I'm going to go through 2 things on this video, 2 methods really, like an easy way and a hard way, or actually not a hard way, a free way and a cheap way. Very you can do the 7-day, it's not a free trial, 7-day, $7 trial. And you can have more than enough keywords to last you for a year or 2, probably. Seriously, for $7. We're going to go through those. I'm going to start with this free version though. I want to tell you right off the bat, keywords don't matter quite as much as you think. Yes, they're still important, but only to the extent that you kind of know what you want to be ranking for, generally speaking. We'll talk about this later when we talk about on-page SEO, but keyword stuff, long tail keywords meaning like 4, 5 plus words, like how to start a blog for single moms. If you went to Google and up with stuff that just says how to start a blog, for example. So again, we're not going to worry about long tail stuff. We're going to find these medium keywords because that's what's most important for actually beginners and advanced bloggers alike. Medium to larger keywords with your Cornerstone content. We'll talk about that in just a second. That's the strategy that we're going for here. Not like tons and millions of articles on like these long tail searches. We don't care about that anymore. Medium keywords, 2 to 5 words are sort of the bigger ones, and then maybe like 3 to 6 would be like some of the longer tail keywords, right? So let's go through the CC-CAP method. Copy your competitors' categories. If you don't have them already, if you already have your categories set up, your general topics, you can ignore that. And then use Google Solve Keywords Anywhere and Answer the Public. This is a deadly free combination of stuff right here. We'll go through Ahrefs in a minute. But, I forgot Keywords Everywhere. Wait, I saw it. Keywords Everywhere. So this is a free as in beer, Chrome extension. Looks like it also has a Firefox extension. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that. Who uses Firefox though? Not me.
So what you do is install this. They'll email you an API key that you'll copy to the settings. Right here, I'm going to click this. Keywords everywhere. I have it on. You can also turn it off. I would probably turn it off whenever you're not using it, of course. You'll enter in your API key that they email you in the settings, and then you're good to go. Whenever you search Google or go to answerthepublic.com, which we'll also take a look at, it will show you search volume. How cool is that? How cool is that? Now, I'll tell you right off the bat, this is not completely accurate, nor is any other tool that shows you search volume. Keyword Google, first of all, I'm not going to recommend this in this video. Yes, it is free to use still, I believe, but I'm just not going to recommend this. You can see this right here. This is Keywords Anywhere. I searched that. It says 246,000 a month. Search for Keyword Planner. That may or may not be accurate. What I'm looking for here is like a general idea. So let's go back to my strategy. Copy your competitors' keywords. If you haven't done this already, you can, why don't I just open like a new spreadsheet here? New spreadsheet. Let's do parenting as an example here. Right, parenting up in here. I'm going to go, I have keywords installed, keywords anywhere, everywhere, excuse me, not anywhere, installed already. So parenting. What I'm going to do, again, I'm going to pretend that I already have some subtopics, but you could go Google your competitors, their categories and their subcategories, and try to come up with like your own. Let's say like toys or fun activities for parenting. Let's talk about mom self-care. I'm just kind of making this up. Discipline. Discipline guides, and I don't know. Family vacations. I'm just making this up. Okay, so I just made those up on the spot. Let's say I kind of already had that. What I do first is go to my favorite by far. Even better than like doing Google search, which we'll do in just a second. You'll go here. It's free for a limited number of searches a day. It's like 3 or 4 searches you could do a day. All you need is one, really. Data. I don't really like these visualizations. Like, what is this? I don't exactly know what that is. I click over to data and look at all this. Look at all these blog posts. These are just nothing but blog posts for the most part. Can parenting be easy? Question mark. That could be a blog post. Now, keywords everywhere. Barely see them. They're kind of like small here. It shows their search volume. Now, it's very, very, very not accurate, but you can get a general idea. Like a bunch of these just say 0 a month. It's probably because it doesn't even have any data recorded yet. If I go down here, this, okay, it highlighted this one, 4,400 a month, parenting forums. So that could be a blog post. That's a good keyword to target right there. The top 10 parenting forums you need to be a part of in 2019. That's a good blog post. Parenting, 1,900 searches per month, roughly. That's pretty cool. And you can also see some other ones like 260 a month, 170. You can also change your settings in Keywords Anywhere, by the way, to only highlight different amounts. Like I have it set to 1,000 plus, I think, but you could do 500 plus, and then it would highlight maybe some of these other ones. Parenting is hard, quotes. Parenting Canada magazine. Parenting classes near me. That one's gonna be a little bit tough. That's not necessarily like a blogging keyword. Parenting toddlers, of course. The ultimate guide to parenting toddlers. Google, that's a pretty decent amount of searches. Parenting with Love and Logic, that must be like the name of a book or something. Parenting with Depression. What I would do if I were serious about this, I would just start copying and pasting what I think I would want to write about. And then maybe I would put the searches per month in here. Keywords, and then searches per month or something like that. And let's come back over here. Let's just grab one. Parenting with anxiety. I don't know if I copied too much there. Oops, I did. Paste. Okay, well, whatever. You get the point. Parenting with anxiety, and that has like 1,300 a month, right? And you can also show quote unquote competition. Let's put in 1,300. I don't know why this is like crazy formatting here, but in general, I would do this for a bunch. And right there on that like one page, you saw a ton of different stuff. It's not all going to be high search, but there's a lot of that. Comparisons, we'll check this out too. Data. Parenting order, I don't even know what that means. Like the 80s, these are some funny stuff. There's lots of like blog post ideas sprinkled in here. Parenting and education, parenting and mental health, parenting and social media, parenting advice, parenting apps, parenting articles. Like these are all like great subcategories for my blog. Apps, that's roughly 2K a month right there. So paste that in there, 2K. The best parenting apps, right? Parenting books, parenting blogs. Okay, well, that's cool. What if I wanted to go to parenting discipline? What if I just wanted to do that? Let's go use Google this time. Discipline guides. I don't even have to hit enter. I could just like see that stuff come up. Wait, let's go back. This is interesting. Discipline definition, discipline parenting. Let's just type this in. 720 a month, discipline parenting. Let's just do this and then see. Let's go down here. Does it show? It does show search volume. Positive discipline. That might be an interesting keyword right there. Parenting styles. 33,000 styles. Why don't we just do that one? That one sounds good. Parenting styles. The ultimate guide to parenting styles. ultimate guide. That was like 31K a month or something like that. That's pretty crazy, right? And keywords everywhere, related keywords, parenting styles. Said it right there. Positive discipline. People also search for abusive parenting signs, 1,300 a month, and some other nice little keywords right here. Now, again, and by the way, you can also export this to CSV. That's super handy. These are not like, that's not what matters. What matters is more people search for parenting styles than do positive discipline, than do child discipline methods, it's like the ranking, right? Just the relative volume of searches. Just really, really basic stuff. Don't count on it as a goal. Just in general, parenting. 49,000 a month to search for parenting magazine, parenting tips. Let's do parenting tips. You can literally just keep searching in Google for stuff like this, using keywords everywhere, and get really good ideas. Good parenting quotes. Qualities of good parents. 1,000 searches a month. Like a gold mine right here. One more thing, and then we'll move to Ahrefs. First of all, you can't type in solve.com like this. I don't know why it doesn't go to the correct address. What I recommend is going to Google and searching for solve with 2 O's. And then click on this. I don't know exactly why, but solve is the same thing as kind of like Google suggestions. These right here that pop up, you can actually just see a lot more of them at once. So if I typed in parenting and parenting styles, classes, quotes, it shows you the rough volume per month. Parenting books, parenting memes, parenting with love and logic, some other stuff down here. By the way, these are showing results from, looks like YouTube, Bing, and Yahoo, but these keywords everywhere are, I'm pretty sure, just Google related. This isn't showing how many people search on Yahoo a month for parenting styles. You can see it's the same exact like number right there. So this is my overall recommendation for you to do keyword categories down by either the methods we've already talked about, or go copy your competitors' categories and like see which ones best fit like what you want to write about and all the posts you're going to do. Like see what categories those fall under, 5 to 10 maybe, and then if you want to make like 2 or 3 if you have them for each of those. And usually those subcategories, or maybe even the categories themselves, will be your cornerstone pieces. The blog post that you can do, I don't know, like less than 10 of a year, maybe. Like 4 or 5 a year, I don't know. Like the bigger posts, the more thorough, the more comprehensive, the more unique, as in you putting your own twist, spending a lot of time and effort on those articles to target those bigger keywords. Oftentimes those end up being your subcategories or your categories. Pretty cool. You can literally just use this approach, open up, answer the public, solve, Google, just start typing away, use keywords everywhere to get a rough estimate of how many searches are going on, and that's it. That is like the best free thing I could ever imagine, right? Conclude by using Ahrefs, okay? You can sign up, I said free trial, it's actually a $7 trial. It costs $7, they just didn't want a free trial. And you can knock this out in bulk. It costs $100 a month, roughly. Actually, I don't. But it's roughly $100. But you do not need to actually do that. You can start a 7-day trial, and as long as you know what you're going to be doing, you can get just a year's worth of keywords out of 7 days. You can do it in an hour, really. But in general, you're going to grab 5 to 10 of your competitors, quote unquote, right? You're going to see best parenting blogs. Or if you don't know who your competitors are, you're going to open up a bunch of these. Like you can see, I've already clicked here. 25 must follow parenting blogs. And I would just run them through your Ahrefs trial. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to log in here, and it's going to pull up some stuff. Might go to Site Explorer. You're going to enter in your competitors and you're going to see what they're ranking for. Straight up. You'll be able to see their top pages and all the keywords they rank for there. And by the way, their search volume when you see keywords in Ahrefs is generally probably a lot better than keywords everywhere, but it's still an estimate. Just don't think of it as a gold standard. So what I would do, come over here, just open up toddlerapproved.com. Now, some of these are not going to be like SEO'd, so to speak. Like these websites don't necessarily rank for other. You're going to have to find some that do. You're going to have to probably find 10 to 20 different quote unquote competitor blogs or similar blogs in your niche to find like 3 or 4 that are like really SEO'd. Like for example, they have a really high dollar approved. It's probably an old website, but they only get like 5,000 views a month from search, which is not a lot for something of this domain. What we can do is look at their keywords from here, their top pages. Both of those are reports where you can find keywords. Or if it's like, they don't really get a whole lot of keywords, like 18K is not a lot of keywords for a site this large. So I might go to competing domains and see if I can find some of their competitors who have a lot. Just wait for it to load here. Okay. busytoddler.com, teaching 2 and 3-year-olds.com, etc. Right? So keywords unique to competitors. Some of these have red TED art. I'm not sure what that is. Happy hooligans. This 4,000 keywords. So maybe we do this one. Click this little drop down box. Yep. So they got like 167,000 backlinks, 122 organic traffic a month. So let's go check them out. You can just do this. I'm like, you see, I only got like one parenting blog, and now I'm like already onto like the next one, just using Ahrefs. So let's say I wanted to target this one. This one has like a really high domain rating as well, like literally 69. Organic traffic, roughly 122,000 a month. That's great. Or that's much better than the other one at least. So here's what I would do. I don't really care about any of this other stuff other than organic keywords and top pages. We'll start with organic keywords. Okay. So this shows the largest keywords that they get traffic for. You can see it's sorted by traffic right now. This should be pretty self-explanatory how to sort via keyword volume. This is keyword difficulty. It's just a little arbitrary, but it gives you how difficult it might be to rank in the top 10 of Google for this search term. And then how much traffic they're likely getting just from this keyword, their position, and what URL it is. So this URL from Happy Hooligans, 3 ingredients, delicious vanilla cream. Sounds pretty good right now. They are number 1 in Google, and they get roughly 1,900 views, clicks, traffic from this keyword. Keyword difficulty is 16. That's not too bad. And people are roughly searching for it like 7,000 Google. Cool. That's what that means. Now, here's the cool part. Here's all of what they rank for. You can see a bunch of these, like this post is repeating often, right? Snow cone, how to make snow cream, snow cream, snow cream, snow ice cream, snow cream recipe post. If you wanted, you could go to top pages. I'm going to open up a new tab because we're going to come back here. Shut these down. Okay. And now this is not going to show you the keywords. This is going to show you their top pages. This one page that we just saw, snow ice cream, 1,400 different keywords, 1,450. You can actually click this and see them. They're the larger ones. Here's their position. Here's their volume, snow cream, right? And the keyword difficulty. These are all like right in the same little arena right here. And the traffic that they get, roughly, right? I'll close that up. Cool. They get 8,000 views a month just from that one post in Google. That's the top keyword you can see right there. So let's go back to the other post. Here's what I would do if I were you. I would find 4 or 5 blogs that get traffic. And let's say you don't care anything about snow ice cream. It doesn't matter. They have some other stuff that they rank for down here. What I might do is this. Sort. Or filter, rather. Filter. Sort or filter. By the way, you can just export this if you want. Just export and then keep it for after your trial ends. You can come back and like search for keywords. You can sort based on keyword difficulty. You can search based on volume. Sort based on volume, etc. What I might do though is filter by traffic volume. Let's say I want a minimum of 500 searches a month, else I don't even want to like consider it. It's not worth it to me. So I would just filter a minimum of 500. I'll say I sorted by keyword difficulty. So this is all the keyword difficulty zeros. That's 1,000 a month. What is this popsicle stick that has a keyword difficulty of 0? I'm not sure that's correct. 8,400? That seems crazy to me. But what you could do is put on a max keyword difficulty of like 30. There we go. And so now we're seeing keywords that this blog ranks for that has more than 500 searches a month, less than 30 keyword difficulty. And let's just sort by volume right here. Slime recipe, my apron, tomato soup, food stuff. I'm talking about parenting. I don't know why I'm getting mostly food stuff right here. So I might move on to a different blog. Quite frankly, let's go to parenting tips. What would be? How about this one? Aha Parenting. They're ranking on the first page of parenting tools. No, parenting tips. And so this might actually be a great domain. Let me just copy this. Aha Parenting. Might be a great domain to search for in here. I'm just going to paste it in. I'm going to click search. We're going to see what happens. It'll take a second. Cool. So, organic keywords. They are... Okay, I was wondering, like, wait, what's wrong? I'm going to sort by traffic right here. Sort by traffic. Actually, I guess we should check out their overview. Like, kind of what they got going on, right? Like how much search they're getting. Organic traffic. Referring domains. 42K. I mean, it's not that great. That's not really what I was hoping for. I was hoping for one of these parenting blogs that's like really into different stuff. So parenting, strong-willed child. This is more of the keywords that I would target as a parenting blog, right? So here's what I'd probably do. I'd probably just export this as is, quite frankly, just so I have everything. You can always come back and sort via Excel or numbers or Google Sheets if you want to, but you can also do it right here. 500, keyword difficulty of, positive parenting is keyword difficulty of 45. That's actually a lot stronger, or a lot harder, rather. Let's do like 35 max. And then I'll start writing, quite frankly, I might go by the traffic. Strong-willed child, I'd write that down. How to get kids to learn, I'd write that down. You don't have to write it down. You can also just export and put it in a spreadsheet if you want to, or something like that. And yeah, that's what I would do. I'd then go to competing domains, and I would get another one, and another one, and another one. I would literally export as many of these reports as I possibly could into a CSV file. I think it's probably what you'll download it as. And then I would save it for later. That's more than enough keywords for ever, probably, actually, but at least several months, if not a year, right? So look at some of these. Raisingchildren.net.au, mother.ly. That looks like a big one. Focus on the family. I think I've heard of that. Mother.ly. This is going a little bit long. I apologize, but I thought it might be cool to show you some of these. So 350,000. Okay, let's just look at them. This looks good. Domain stop content, organic keywords. Yeah, let's just go to organic keywords. This is mother.ly. All right. Androgynous names, gender neutral names, top baby names, American names. They got a lot of these. Best baby swing. I mean, some good parenting stuff there. So I'd probably do the same thing. Let's just do 1,000. And then keyword difficulty, let's like narrow it down even more, like 20. Or like 15. Max of 15. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty cool. Lots of keywords. I'm going to leave it at that for this video. Any more than that would be, I think, quote unquote, advanced. I think this is more than enough for people to start. You can do this for $7, or you could use keywords anywhere, or everywhere, excuse me, keywords everywhere, as well as Google and Answer the Public and solve. You just get a plethora of ideas, of stuff you want to write about, and really rough estimates of how much search is going on every month. Like Nameberry, I don't know exactly what that is. That must be a brand thing. Best baby swing, $4,700 a month, and that's like nothing. By the way, if you compare this to like digital marketing keywords, like how to start a blog, that difficulty is like 89 or 79 or something. Like it's just, these are a lot easier than I would have thought, actually, now that I'm looking at these. So that's it. And hit me up at Slack if you have any questions.
All right, in this video, we're going to walk through how you can best utilize Ahrefs, a 7-day free trial. It costs $7, a 7-day, $7 trial. So when you first go to Ahrefs and you sign up, oops, go here. That's not what you'll see. You'll see this. you'll make sure to choose the standard plan. If you're going to cancel at the end of 7 days anyways, you're not going to do the monthly thing, just be sure to choose standard so you can get all the tools. You put in your email address, you sign up, you pay the $7, and the first thing you're going to be prompted to do is set up your site. But before we even go through that, I want you to organize a few of your competitors first. What I really mean by competitors is people in your niche who also blog about your topic who might be ranking in Google fairly well. So not necessarily your direct competitors, but people whose keywords you can steal or borrow or you can analyze in Ahrefs. So what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to walk through the whole process. I'm just going to go to Google. I'm going to do this for personal finance brands just because. I'm just going to type in personal finance and we'll see who's coming up here. NerdWallet, CNBC, obviously Forbes and stuff like that. The Balance, Simple Dollar. I'm going to open these up. Personal finance, the Balance. I just know these off the top of my head, but you could really open up and try to figure out which ones are more blogs, which ones might be ranking for different things. Another one I would suggest is blah, blah, blah blogs. Or there we go. Like that. You can see it brings up a few here. The 25 best personal finance blogs to read. Let's just open up one of these and you can write out as many competitors as you want. I would choose about 10 only because not all of them are going to be doing massive SEO and it's not going to yield a lot of data. But some clearly will be doing SEO and you'll probably end up with like 3 to 5 of those. 3 to 5 is really all you need to get started and get your $7 worth easily. Simple Dollar, we already opened. Mr. Money Mustache, we'll open that one. JD Roth at Get Rich Slowly, Budgets Are Sexy, Physicians on Fire, Good Financial Sense. We'll see what these are ranking for. A few of these. ESI Money, The Money Mix, Financial Samurai, Making Sense of Sense, Michelle Schroeder, Your Money Geek, Frugal Rules, Money Crashers. Money Crashers, I think, does a lot of SEO, if I remember correctly. I'm just opening up random stuff here. There we go. That's more than enough. I'll open up one more just because they're friends of mine. Okay, so I got like 10-ish, 5, 7, something like that, competitors. Now what do? Here's the checklist. Get those first. Then go set up your 7-day trial. The first thing you're going to be prompted to do is set up your site. And it's going to look a lot like this. Create a project, create a site. I'm not sure what it'll say exactly. I think it'll look like this though. So you'll just put in your site. Quite frankly, make sure to choose HTTP and HTTPS. Ahrefs bot is already doing my stuff. Look at that. You write in a project name. I'm just gonna call it Online Impact. That looks really good. Everything looks good. It did a little check just to make sure the domain's up and running, and then I'm gonna hit continue. Verify ownership. Prove that your website is crawl much faster in site audits. You may skip this step. I'd suggest skipping this step unless you really know what you're doing with site audit stuff. It's going to take a long time to go through this. If you have a lot of time in your 1 week, by all means, go read about that on the Ahrefs blog. I'm not going to talk about it here because it takes a massive amount of time. And yeah, you can just fix broken links on your site, keep your structure kind of clean, and you'll probably be okay for the most part. But you could do this. I'm just going to hit continue. There we go. Schedule site audits. Again, I would probably not do this right now. You're welcome to. Actually, if it's free, you might as well. I would not worry about doing the weekly stuff and setting the frequency or whatever. I would just do continue. Run first crawl now, continue. So I'm actually just going to do that. And now you get to the two favorite tabs, competitors and rank tracking. So rank tracking is really just if you already have content or you're going to be producing content in the 7 days, which doesn't seem likely. You already have content that you want to be ranking for keywords. For instance, I already know that I want to be ranking for how to monetize a blog, how to start a blog, Elementor tutorial. These are just a few that I have. SEO category pages. It's different stuff that I already have, that I know I want to be ranking. That's what this is. This isn't generating new keywords. This is following and tracking the keywords that you already know you should be ranking for or you want to rank for from existing content. Got that? Existing content, put in those keywords here, as many as you can remember. This is not super helpful for this 7-day trial, but it could be useful. And it's also gonna, yours is gonna pull more than mine. Online Impact doesn't do SEO. So hopefully you'll see some keywords your website ranks for in here, and you'll just like hit the plus sign to add them to your little list to track. That's all. So go here, click, I don't even know what this stuff is. Click all the keywords you kind of want to track, and then hit continue. And it's also going to pull up your competitors. Now this is where we get kind of fun here. You can see, oh God, again, this is a bad example because Online Impact doesn't do SEO, but hopefully you will see a bunch of other blogs in your niche here, and you'll just start clicking these plus signs. I don't really know, this is like silly right here. I'll just put those in. Add competitor, this is where I go like, I'd go back and choose their homepage, the simple dollar. Let's add that one in. I'm gonna like get rid of these. Oh, NerdWallet. Again, I'm just gonna do the homepage. Well, I'm gonna try and do the homepage. Add project, delete that. And let's do like 2 more. NerdWallet. Let's do Mr. Money Mustache. And let's do like, let's just put it in. It doesn't matter. It's quick, right? Money Crashers. I know those guys. Okay, so we got 5. Oh, that's all it lets you do for now. Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit finish. All right, so moving down the checklist. Now you have your site set up. You're gonna see a few different things. Forgive me for all this other stuff. Online Impact, come in here. You can go into your dashboard, and this is what you shall see. Pretty cool, right? You're up, you're running. Now what do? How do I get the juicy keywords and SEO strategy now? Okay, 2 or 3 things. This is really it right here. I want you to find the low-hanging fruit for SEO first, which is going to be analyzing your current pages, and then I want you to start using Site Explorer for all those competitor domains that you did. And maybe at the very end, I'll do another little thing on finding backlink opportunities, but it's more advanced and it's going to require outreach anyways, and I wouldn't suggest doing it in your week trial. But the first thing you do is go look at your site's pages, top pages, and see which ones are ranking, not rank 1, but like somewhere up there. So actually for this exercise, just let me go to Do You Even Blog, since there's actually data there. Forgive me. So Do You Even Blog, I'll come in here and I'm gonna go to top pages. You'll see it over here on the left side, top pages. Let me move my image out of the way over here. Cool, top pages, cool. So what are we looking at here? These are pages of mine that are currently ranking in Google, super fancy, and I want to find the low-hanging fruit, as in, where am I ranking on these posts? What's the search volume? Could I improve it easily? Let me give you an example. This post, let's just find another one right here. Okay, Simple Pen Media. That is my friend Kate's company. This would not be a good keyword for me to target because that's her company. It's not useful for me, but in general, pretend this was something useful. I'm rank 11 in Google. That's top of page 2-ish, and there are 800 searches a month. I could go back to this one post, optimize it a little bit for this keyword that it's showing right here. This is the keywords, this is my post, and I would try and get that on rank 1. Okay, what about this? Tim Ferriss blog. I'm also on the top of page 2. There are 3,400 searches a month. Could I go back and update this old post to try and make it rank higher? Could I generate some backlinks and reach out to some friends of mine in my niche, or try and get a media mention or something with this post to try and build that up? That's low-hanging fruit. This is already ranking, it's just not on page 1. Let me show you one more tip trying to find your low-hanging fruit here. You can use these filters. Volume, let's say I don't want to even mess with any volume that is less than like 300 searches a month. So I'm going to put a minimum of 300 searches a month, click apply. And when I'm searching for my low-hanging fruit, I don't care about anything in the top 3, and I don't care about anything on like page 4 or 5 of Google, but just like page 2 of Google. So I'm going to put in rank, let's go like 5, rank 5 in Google to rank like 25. That's like page 3, somewhere in there. I'm going to hit apply, and look at this. That's pretty cool, right? This is my low-hanging fruit. What I would do at this point, quite frankly, is just click this button right here, export, and I would come back to it later. You don't have to implement everything in this 7-day free trial, but just getting the data is what you're after. So I now have posts of mine that are ranking in Google in middle of page 1 up to middle of page 3 with search volumes more than 300 a month minimum. Right? So I would want to go back through these posts and see if I could update them. Blue Rocket SEO, blog income reports. I'm on here, FinCon 2019. I mean, most of these are not helpful for my blog because they're other people's brands. But in general, it could be WordPress Gutenberg tutorial. Again, I'm ranked 6. If I went back and improved this a little bit, I could be rank 1. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Low hanging fruit. I would click export. I would usually just do the quick export for all of these things. It's going to allow me to download it immediately. For the first 1,000 rows, full export. For this, it's not that much different because there's only 24 rows. I would hit start export. And it's going to give me like some notifications up here, or quick export was just immediate. Downloads, I'm going to save it. It's always going to be a CSV file. I'm going to hit save. Boom, there's my low hanging fruit. Pretty cool, right? Let me move my face out of the way. There we go. Okay, let me plug my computer in. I'll be right back. And I'm back. That was probably instantaneous for you, but I got my computer plugged in. So, low-hanging fruit. I have my top pages here and stuff that I might could approve to try and rank quickly. What's next? The competitors, right? The competitors. A few things you can do here. I'm going to do this. And what we're doing basically, by the way, is trying to figure out some of their top pages to get ideas for our own content as well as keywords. Top pages, top keywords. And we're going to try and export that stuff. So, there are a few different things, a few different ways you could do this. One, I'm under Site Explorer, by the way, looking at my own stuff. I could go to competing domains, competing pages, and content gap. I actually do not suggest using content gap. I don't like this feature. It's very difficult to sort through the data. What it's supposed to do is analyze your blog as well as competitors' blogs and show you keywords that they rank for that you do not. It doesn't really, I mean, it works, but it's really hard to decipher. What I like better is simply plugging in your different competitors in Site Explorer and then examining their top pages and then keywords to get ideas for your own. So let's do that right now. You can do that from any page in here. So let's just go with The Balance. Let's go with The Balance. TheBalance.com. Can we do that? There we go. The Balance. And come in here, I am going to like copy and paste that in. You don't even need to worry about filtering out the HTTPS. It's going to do that by itself. I'm going to click the search thing and I'll click back on overview. There we go. All right, here's The Balance. They have $36 million worth of traffic. That's insane right now. They rank for 4 million keywords. It's a big site. I don't know if this is exactly what I would do, but this is a good example to start. So the first thing I would do is go to top pages. Top pages, top pages, top pages. And I would just look. This is where I'm just gonna like, maybe I would export some of these, maybe not. What I would be doing is figuring out, okay, what are they writing on? This is a really bad example because they have all sorts of stuff that's not related to personal finance, which is what I originally typed in. But hopefully you can take a look at their top keywords, the volume of that keyword, and kind of where they are ranking. Another thing you can do, this is really cool. It shows how many backlinks they have, by the way, how many different referring domains. See, there's only one referring domain to this like little Fed loan thing right here, which is kind of weird. That's kind of funny that they're ranking 2 for 1 million search volume keyword. Anyways, neither here nor there. You can click on the keywords drop down. I wouldn't really worry about traffic and value for the most part. You can click on this and see all the keywords that this post ranks for. And it's going to show you keyword difficulty. So you can discover keywords right here. And we can do it in a second. I'll show you how to do it in the keywords section, the backlinks organic keywords section. But you can also see it right down here from the drop down. Let's do another one, maybe not so much. Okay, so Jeff Rose. This is Jeff Rose. I'll type him in here. See his top pages. Again, you can also use some of the same filters here, by the way. It's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Good financial sense. This is cool. So here are Jeff's top pages. Making money, quick ways to make money, home value, how to get free money, survey junker, buy or lease a car, best investments. All right, I got some personal finance data here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I would copy down any topics. I might come over here and make like a topics sort of thing. I would also probably like put my competitors in here. That's what I was originally going to do before I just started opening them up in new tabs. Topics, I might write down like, what were some of the other ones here? Like max 401k contribution, max 401k contribution. You can do this a little manually if you want to kind of focus it on topics. And we're going to export some keywords doing this as well. So this is where I would just go through and get ideas of Why or how is Jeff getting traffic? How is my competitor Jeff, goodfinancialsense.com, getting traffic? This is how he's getting traffic. These are his top posts right here. And if you want to save it for later, boom, export. I would highly recommend doing as many exports as you can. You do not have unlimited with a 7-day free trial, but you have a pretty good amount. I would generally always do quick export. I don't think you need this full export. I don't think you need. And if you need to whittle it down, you can use these filters. Again, that's pretty cool, right? Keyword difficulty up to 30. Let's see what happens. Type that in. It may not do a whole lot for the top posts because these keywords are going to be, there's a lot of like low keyword difficulty things right here. You can see all the keywords that this post is ranking for. I wouldn't really mess with that. What you could is filter out traffic. If you wanted to only see the top traffic posts, which that's pretty much what this first page is, and word in keyword, that's pretty cool. You can search for only stuff related to investing. Only show keywords with, oh, that's word counts. Here are the keywords. You can include any keywords, exclude any keywords. Like I don't care about, I don't care about 401k. We'll see how that works. Put that in there. Hopefully it'll like filter out this one right here. Yep, it did. I don't want to see anything on investing. I don't want to see anything on budgeting. That stuff's not useless to me. You can filter out keywords that you're not interested in. Or you could say, oh, I just really want to see like investing. Let's see investing. Just type in investing and see. Okay, so he's got some investing posts here that rank pretty well. Some good volume. I might export this. I just export. Okay, there's my investing keywords right there that Jeff uses. Yada, yada. Okay, let's move on into, let's use a different competitor as well. Let's go with Steve from Think, Save, Retire. Plug him in here. Hit search. And instead of looking at his top pages, I would recommend doing this for all your competitors, by the way, that you wrote down. Just come in here. Hater's going to hate. Steve's got some rank thing there, but he's not getting any traffic. It's because, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, organic keywords is another thing you can do. Here are all of Steve's organic keywords. Now, this is in kind of a random order at the moment. This is where you absolutely need to do filters. So let's say you're a brand new blog. You can't rank for these super competitive keywords, but you might want to look at some of the longer tail keywords or something. Here's what you could do. Several things, actually. Keyword difficulty is generally where I would start. I would do anything under like, and this is up to you, definitely anything under like 60 or 70 probably for new, I say new blogs, meaning like in the first 2 years. I might even do like 20 and see what comes up. 30, let's try like 40. Keyword difficulty under 40. That's what I'm looking at right here. Okay, so that whittled it down to 10,000 keywords. I'm not sure what we were at before. We were, okay, well, it's not much. Let's do like 27. That's right. 27, down a little bit. Okay. What about search volume? We don't care about these right here that are like only a couple of hundred searches. Like let's put in like a minimum of 200 search volume a month. Let's see if that whittles it down. Okay, that whittled it down a lot. Now I'm down to like 1,400 keywords right here that Steve is ranking for. And let's say, like I want to exclude Steve because I don't want to see about Steve's brand names. Like I don't care about these keywords. Okay, that's not too much right there. You can add multiple words or phrases separated by commas. Let's do that. Steve Adcock. I believe that's his last name. I don't want to rank for like his name or whatever, so I'll like exclude that stuff. And there you go. I also don't want to rank for Think, Save, Retire, so I put that in there. Think, Save, Retire. Do that. Yeah, there we go. So I got like a bunch of different. I don't want a career, FU money, living on the road, corporate America. I don't want a job. Let's say like I just want to see like investing again. Oh, I misspelled that. Investing. I just want to see like his investing keywords. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's not showing me any. Oh, not a whole lot. Okay, what about budget? Okay, a few ideas here. Best uncle gifts. Keyword difficulty is like super low on these. Pretty cool. Let's do one more and then I'll call this video quits. By the way, again, I would export it. export it, save it all. You can throw it into one big document later if you want to, or you can have like lots and lots of CSV files or Excel files or whatever, but I would just export it during your 7-day free trial just to make sure you have access to it later. You can filter through this data later, by the way. You don't have to do this right here. You can actually do that in Excel if you know how to use filters in Excel. You could do that there. But the point is just to get the data that Ahrefs has during your 7-day free trial. Get the data. Family of 5 grocery budget, blah, 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 blah. Lots of small keywords here. Let's do one more. The balance. Let's do dollar sprout. I think I plugged them in here. Really quick, just take a look here. Again, I don't want the exact word like dollar sprout. And I might do keyword difficulty max of 30 and keywords trafficked from like 300. Look at all this stuff. Some random like birthday freebies, online jobs for teens, some really crazy stuff in here. That's interesting, but there you go. If you just wanted budgeting, you could, again, just type it in there, budget, see if anything comes up. Nope. Invest, see if anything comes up. Best investment apps, 10,000 searches a month, keyword difficulty 25, that's on the high end of our little spectrum. There are 8 on Google. Yeah, that'd be a pretty difficult keyword. Well, not super difficult, but pretty difficult. So we could steal that. The point of this is to just grab as much data as you can in the 7-day time frame that you can use later to filter through and get keyword ideas, topic ideas. And the main way you're going to do that is by throwing in your competitors' sites. It's so easy this way. I really don't understand why anybody would do it any differently. I think this is the way to go to generating just a massive amount of data that you can filter through later. You can pick and choose which topics you want to focus on, etc. But just get the data. Get the data. Do searches like this. Dollar sprouts. Get rid of investing here. And there you got investing books. They have a lot of stuff there. And just do the export. I would generally just do 1,000 rows. Full export's not possible because of the plan I'm on. That's 14,000. I might do a little bit more filtering. If that's the case, then I would definitely do like, I don't want the huge ones and traffic. Like I don't want the like 100 things. So I'll put like 100. Just trying to get the search volume down as much as possible. Okay, now it's only 505. I could totally like export that. Cool. There you go. That is pretty much all I got. One more advanced tip. If you want to, one thing you can do is take a look at your competitors' top pages and see who is linking back to them. Backlinks. You can analyze backlinks through this tool. Referring domains. Look at all these right here. You can also just go to backlinks up here. New referring domains. I'll probably just do backlinks. What I would do here is probably try and filter again. You could do a bunch of different stuff here. You can use one link per domain, meaning some of these sites might link to Dollar Sprout a whole lot. I just want to see one of those. So click this button. Or group similar is actually pretty fun. Like they have a few links here. You saw there were 3 or 4 populating. Link type, only do follow if you want to. You can see their educational backlinks. You can see just all sorts of different stuff in here. Word or phrase include. You can just kind of see like, okay, myth versus reality. I don't know what this stuff is, but you could open these up and maybe reach out to them if need be. Like, could you do that? Could you, if you find any roundup posts in here, could you reach out to these people and say, hey, could you include my blog as well? It might be a backlink opportunity like that. Again, this is a little bit more advanced stuff, but it could be useful. I'm going to just do follows right here. Platform. I don't think this really matters. Traffic. Nah, I wouldn't do that stuff. So you could do roundup. You could just choose like or best roundup or best and see if anything like pops up. It's searching. Yeah, we shall see. Best side hustle ideas, best money blogs, 14 entrepreneurs, the 50 best personal finance blog you should read. Like maybe you could reach out to some of these things and try and get on them. Like these seem to be sort of roundup posts. Like could you find a broken link on this one and, you know, pitch your own blog in there, send them an email. Backlink opportunities, it can be used for this purpose as well. That's my point. Overall, I want to sum up, get some competitors first. you can do some Googling, or you can just write them in there, try and get like at least 10, so you can kind of filter out like, okay, only 5 of these actually practice SEO and therefore have a lot of keywords and stuff to look at. And then I would set up your site like we did at the very top. I would find your top pages, specifically those on like page 2 of Google, maybe for like decent search volume that you might could go and update, make better, get a backlink or two to, and be on page 1. Low-hanging traffic opportunities. And then I would do a little bit of competitor research like we have, just plugging it into Site Explorer and glancing at their top pages, organic keywords, maybe backlinks if you really want to go that route. But just exporting the data, getting that data. Try to export a ton of keywords and top pages. That's it.
All right, let's talk about what to do. Keywords you might want to target. You got some topics you want to write about, etc. How do I produce content that'll rank in Google? It's the question of the ages. No one has the exact answer because no one knows Google's algorithms, except for Google, of course. But I'm going to give you basics. This is beginner SEO 101. But quite frankly, it's kind of all you need to know too. It's just really hard, right? 2 broad things, and then we'll get into some basic on-page SEO. Number 1 would be to satisfy the user intent of the. We already talked about user intent. We already talked about what Google wants. Google wants to give its users what they are looking for. So in order to do that with your blog post, you have to understand what they are looking for. Sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. We're going to talk about the example. And then semi-related, do the research, please. Like if you're targeting SEO keywords, especially if you're trying to be competitive, I'm not talking about just normal blogging every day. Oh, I have this idea. I kind of want to blog about it. That's great. If you're keywords, you need to do research. A quick SERP check is what I'm going to like to call it. Search engine results page check. Like open up some posts and see what those are writing about, right? We're going to do this first. Walk through step by step, and then we'll get into the on-page stuff. For parenting keywords, I like typing in like parenting blogs. I already did this once. Parenting blogs. What if I wanted to rank for this? What if I wanted to rank for parenting blogs? If I have keywords anywhere turned on, which I don't, turned it on. At parenting blog. I had to refresh. Sorry. Parenting blogs. Woo, 4,400 people a month search for that. That's pretty awesome, right? That's a great keyword. Also got lots of these right here. It's amazing. Working funny mom blogs, funny parenting blogs, lots of good stuff there. But in general, 4,400 a month, parenting blogs. That is what I want to target. Okay, got it? Good. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research. I'm gonna look, see here, what do these have in common? I might even open some of these up. Right off the bat, I can see that there's numbers in almost every one of these. The best parenting blogs, 60 parenting blogs, top 51 parenting blogs, 22 mom blogs that will inspire, 25 must-follow parenting blogs. A list. People that are searching for parenting blogs, I'm determining user intent right here, by the way, are clearly searching for like which parenting blogs to follow and read. I need some ideas of parenting blogs to follow. So that's what. Open these up right here. I've already done this for some other lectures, but I'm gonna do it again. Open up these. That already opened that. I opened that one twice. Oops. Let's go to some of these other ones. This one's interesting. Aha, parenting blog. That was not a list. The truth about parenting. Blogs every parent. It's still the same user intent. It just doesn't have a number in the title. Best parenting blogs for 2018, even though it's already 2019. 60 best. Okay. I'm just gonna browse through here. I'm doing my content research. I might even open up a new spreadsheet for each little post. I'll just show you my spreadsheet tracker. SEO tracker. I have this. This is actually a new one. It's not going to have a whole lot of stuff here. Things to write about. So I've only done one post in this new tracker. I should bring up the old one. I don't know where it is. Basically, I do this. This is my research. Before I write anything on a blog post for SEO, I just do a little bit of research. Like, what am I targeting? What's the user intent? I write down some ideas for bullet points or different H2 tags. I make some title ideas, like I write down some headlines, just do a little bit of research, right? So I might actually do this for parenting blogs as well. I'll go through these one by one. So I don't actually know how to close that pop-up on that site. So I'm gonna just ignore this one. That's what they get. So 22 must follow parenting blogs. There's an intro, there's an image, there's just a bunch of links in here. Some of their best posts I'm seeing, right? You might want to check out these posts. That must be she's doing that for every. Okay, that's annoying. More lists, some Facebook follow buttons, embeds, more lists, more lists, more lists. It's just lists. Lots of ways to follow them on Facebook and some of the blog posts that they write. All right. So literally, don't see much else than that. It's just a big list and then comments. Okay. What about this one? Aha, parenting blog. This is the one that wasn't a list. I don't know why exactly that's ranking, but that's interesting. Right? Move on to this one. The truth about parenting blogs everyone should read. There is literally no images in this post, and it's actually pretty short. It's just the links and a few of their top posts. So I'm noticing right off the bat, there's a trend already. Blogs, obviously, and then some of their best posts, which is interesting. So I might actually do that. Same thing with this one. Looks like, yep, a nice little share button there. Good for y'all. Best parenting blog in no particular order. Great little funny gift. Okay, so links, my favorite post. Okay, this is like really, really obvious. And there's no images on this one, which I find interesting. But it's just the same thing. A couple of favorites. I love this formatting though. You can tell they're formatted very same. They got some bullet points. Favorites, that makes it very easy to skim through. This is no wonder it's like performing pretty well. This one, I'm just going to briefly browse through here. Research, this is important. That's my point. Researching what the top 10 results in Google are doing will give you a great insight you should produce content-wise. It's incredibly important. Not many people do this, which is a little silly. So this one has actually different headlines. If I had to go to inspect, it looks like an H2 or H3 tag. These are actually H3 tags right here, formatting their headlines for this post. I'm always curious about that sort of stuff. So just a lot. These are kind of categorized. It looks like funniest parenting. Is this? This looks like it's formatted a little bit differently. That's an H3. More parenting resources. Oh, here we go. Sites for education. So they split theirs up into, these are H2 tags. So the list of parenting blogs are H3s, and they've actually categorized the blogs. This is for education and learning. Where's another one? No. Best parenting websites for information. Like they kind of split it up a little bit differently. Okay, cool. So now I have a good idea. I'm going to do a listicle post. I'm going to list off a bunch of the best parenting blogs, and I know the user intent, right? That's important. Maybe I also recognize that they like some of their top performing content, the best content of those parenting blogs. That's actually cool. And then I like the idea of linking to their Facebook page. I don't like the Facebook embed thing that was on that one post, but I like that idea. Like follow them here. That's actually pretty cool. Of formatting it the same for every blog that I recommend so people can skim a little bit easier. That's really cool. So I'm going to do that too. I'm not actually going to write this entire post in this video, by the way. But I just want to show you that the research is indeed important. I have a great idea of what I'm going to do now. On-page SEO, Yoast. You probably already have Yoast, but if you don't, just go install it. It's fantastic. It just is. The free version is more than enough. I have premium because I love, love, love the redirects and some of this other fancy stuff, which I can show you down here. It's like 90 time. It's really great, but honestly, the free version is equally great. So Yoast is an amazing plugin for on-page SEO. I have a new post here. I have Gutenberg, so yours might look different than this, but in general, here is my Yoast. Focus key phrase. What was it? Parenting blogs? Focus key phrase. Parenting blogs. I'm going to type this in here. You can also type in synonyms. Like if I want to do best parenting blogs or something like that. And I want to go back to my notes right now. Basic on-page SEO. We're going to walk through this in just a second, but I just thought I'd show it to you right here. Follow Yoast. You don't have to do it every single light. They're green lights, by the way. A green light, yellow light, red light. You don't have to get every single light to be green. It's just a guideline, but it can be really useful for the basic stuff. Again, I typed out roughly right here, like put keywords in your title, roughly speaking. It doesn't matter as much as you think it does. It doesn't have to be exact. In fact, if it's something exact, it might not actually be friendly, and Google can tell, right? So just be generally following Yoast, Keywords towards the beginning of the post. It doesn't have to be in the very first sentence. Yoast often does that. Key phrase in title, key phrase in blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be generally speaking. What's more important than any of this stuff down here, basic on-page SEO, is just this: nailing good content that satisfies user intent is far more important. But since I'm going to assume that we're all SEO here, I do want to go through some of these right here. Use lots of images. Images break up text and just are incredibly effective when relevant and useful. If this is not relevant and useful, don't include it. But try and use images to break stuff up. Use graphs, anything, even stock photography if it's relevant, and humor that keeps people on the page, right? I have this down here. Keep people on your page. Google calls it dwell time. That means how long do they spend on your blog post. Google tracks this sort of stuff. It's kind of crazy, but is just keep your blog posts engaging. Images do that. Videos do that. Using formatted headers and stuff like that, like headings, H2 tags, H3s, to enhance readability, right? The ability to skim the blog post to read increases engagement, which Google cares about. That's how you rank. Producing good content. This is what good content means, right? Keep your intros delicious, like kind of keeping people scrolling down the page. Use lots of line breaks, no huge walls of text. Right? This gets users scrolling down the page, right? Longer content generally performs better in Google. It just does. Don't just add words for the sake of adding words. Don't just type an extra 250 words, but just be thorough in answering user intent. That's what I mean by long content. It really just means content. Answer the question. Answer the keyword. That is by far more important than any of these little Yoast green lights by themselves, right? Right. So really quick, let's just go through here. And then I want to conclude talking about Ahrefs for $7. But just for a minute, let's say parenting blogs. Parenting blogs. The top 10 as voted on by 250 moms. Great title. And so you'll see something change down here. I have key phrase in title. The exact match of the key phrase appears at the beginning of the SEO title. Cool. This will actually tell you like what to do. A lot of these right here. Again, please don't take all of these like super literally, like I have to green lights. This is just a suggestion. And so an intro, I want to use lots of line breaks and maybe even add an intro. I might mention the words parenting blogs somewhere in the first couple sentences. It doesn't have to be the first one, but that's actually pretty easy. Looking at some of the best parenting blogs to follow in 2019. Look no further, mom or dad, question mark. You see how I'm like not including huge paragraphs. I'm just like line. Your entire blog post doesn't have to be like that, but it really helps for intros, just to get people scrolling down the page just a little bit, right? And you'll see I also got another green light right here. Key phrase in introduction, but now I have all these red lights. Oh no, what do I do here? SEO title width is wider than the viewable limit. That means this is a little bit too long, basically. Text link, and by the way, you can click these links to learn more. It says add in some images. It says this is only 18 words long. That's way too short. I need a meta description and meta title and stuff like that. I need to add some internal links, as in link to other blogs or other pages on my blog, other blog posts of mine on my site. That's an internal link. Outbound links. No outbound links appear on the page. Please add some, right? Go through and do these one by one. I'm not going to cover it in this video, but I would work on this. Also, you notice what I did right here? I also included the word best right here. Best parenting blogs. Just, giving a little ranking for different keywords. Parenting is going to be the big target, but best parenting blogs might also be searched for a lot. So I included that in there as well, right? So one more thing on Yoast that you really need to know. I'm not going to finish the rest of this blog post, but I could add a bunch of stuff, add in some images, obviously the other blogs that I'm going to be doing, and add in another links to some of my other posts that I've written on my site if it's relevant. And yeah, these will mostly be green or yellow by the time I'm done. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, whoa, this is a very first. But in general, like that's what it would be like. One more thing, right? Let's close down this focus key phrase. All right. Readability. Snippet preview. This is important. This is where you customize what appears in Google search. Right here. It's kind of silly. There's your title. By default, you can actually, it says like title, page, separator, site title. So this is what it looks like in Google search results right now. I could actually delete these. Like if I didn't want do you even blog at the end of it right here, site title, and then it goes down. So now this is green. You see when I add in a bunch of other stuff, another sentence or two, now it's like red. It's like, that's too long, that's too many words or whatever. So I'd actually just do like this, right? And you can actually delete this if you want, if you will. Parenting blogs, the top 10 blah, blah, blah is voted on by 250 moms. Cool. Meta description, I'm going to specify something right here. Looking for the best parenting blogs to follow 2019. We asked 250 mom and dads who they, maybe not all caps, who they followed. And these are the blogs they recommend. Boom. It's green. That's giving me, it's a good like little length right here. I've got my keyword in here. I've also got best parenting blogs. I'm going to close that. And that'll actually show up in here, by the way. Now I got my key phrase and meta description, right? I'm looking good. I might actually, maybe I should actually just do this post. This is great. An extra 4,000 searches a month. It's a good keyword, right? So that's concludes my thing on on-page SEO. So that's pretty cool, right? I'm not actually going to for producing content. That's more advanced. I'm going to try use that for your video you probably already watched, the keyword research video. But in general, this is how you shape your content to perform in SEO. Really quick, let's go summary-wise. I don't want to leave you hanging. The most important thing beforehand and know that your content is satisfying user intent. First, you got to know what user intent is. You do that by going to Google and you start searching for stuff. Google, best parenting blogs. Open these up, see what's here. Lots of list posts, lots of numbers in their titles, etc. Cool, I kind of get an idea. I do even more by going through each of those pieces of content that I opened, like the first page, the first 2 pages even. Go about this one, maybe. And just browse through, see what's going on, see what their formats are, see what Google is already ranking. Got it? Doing research. Lots of images on this one. That's awesome. Is there links? Okay, they're linking. Links, okay. For the mom seeking, I like that they kind of have these categorized. For the mom of kids close in age. It's pretty cool, right? I'm going to inspect this just because I'm curious now. H1. Oh, this is a terrible SEO blog post. Look at that. This is an H1 tag. That should not be an H1 tag. H1 tag per blog post. You can have multiple H2s, multiple H3s. If you actually put that into Yoast, if I had this is a headline, it actually won't let me do it because I have Gutenberg and I can't do an H1 tag. I can only do or H4. But you should never have more than one H1 tag per post. So you could beat these people. You could beat these people, right? Sorry. So after you do that, right, you go through and you check out what the other blogs are doing. Write your post. You make it good. I would actually suggest writing the entire post first, right? Twice as much as you think is necessary, and then you can come back and edit. And then do some basic on-page SEO stuff. Follow Yoast. It doesn't have to be 100% green lights. It doesn't. Good content and make it readable. Lots of images, lots of H2 tags, some headers that'll break up your text. Link to handy resources both on your blog and other people's blogs. Be thorough, right? Basic stuff, but it's all you need to know. Simple, but difficult. That is how you shape content for SEO. That's all I got. Do the research beforehand and know how to satisfy that user intent, and then try and produce the best content possible using some lines. That's it. And make sure you have your meta description appropriately figured out. That's it.